there was another point. Sorry, I'm going to get to you. I know you're absolutely burning with the question. Like, yeah, I can just feel it.
I just add in something there as well. I mean, these like tools for people to work with, like, you know, think of an analogy. If an artist has tools, what they create with those tools could be completely different. And Michael Albert talks a lot about he doesn't know what exactly something will look like because he's not going to be making the decisions. That's up to the community to use the ideas of ParPolity of participatory economics. But what it will look like, we don't know until those communities make those decisions.
Okay, so we count to this count before it explodes. Is that right?
Sorry,
I can't shake the feeling that you're reinventing the wheel, basically. I mean, you're saying someone has to start a vision. There are visions and ideas out there. There are on the economic front, there's free cycle, there are let schemes, there are various ideas, theoretical or existing, of local economies. And I didn't hear you to refer to any of these existing ideas. And you're talking about someone has coming to, I mean, it's a bit cheeky, to be honest, coming to the anarchist book fair and say someone has to start a vision. Well, there are a lot of visions out there. There are people here who participate in various groups, you know, which use consensus decision making and so on. So I feel like here are coming to something theoretical, and I haven't seen any relation to everything that's already in existence. And to me, that's a problem. That's a big gap.
Okay. So
let me just one other point. I just want to pick up on the political point before. I also found this structured thing there a bit disturbing. It's like you're talking about anarchism, but you're not willing to fully commit to it. Was my feeling.
You need me in the club to feel comfortable.
No, I just felt that you weren't quite comfortable committing to anarchism, like having the example.
If you define it as a participatory polity, I'm very happy.
The example of having one person, of having very closed councils, having one person represent for 2 years, as opposed to say every time you have a decision and a meeting, one person is chosen to go up to the next high-level meeting. For example, I mean, there are other ways of doing this. And, okay, maybe for most things you want a group of 30 people to decide, but you also, in some cases, you will want a meeting of people from the higher level. I mean, of 1,000 people or several hundred people getting to decide. So there is, you know, it has been said before, it seems very structured and bureaucratic almost, not leaving room for necessary change, for different alternatives coming up between different communities, different areas. So I also felt that there's something too structured about it, and missing the bottom-up decision-making.
Yep. Okay. So, yeah, there was loads there. 5 minutes. Right. So, I guess some of it comes from, the worry of, like, too much structure, okay? And I think that, well, definitely for Paracon, because there was what you said about vision, lack of vision, but there's, you know, this vision and that vision. We're then conflating economic and political vision. So one of the things we're trying to do is to say, actually, you know, society is really complex and we need alternative visions in each of the social spheres that Mark was talking about. So this now, hopefully the critique should be based on political vision, political systems. Not necessarily other economic ones, but of course we could have the economic debate as well, which I think, like, I don't know if you came to Paracon, no, okay. So I think, like, you know, Paul was saying is that, to be honest, why Paracon or why these institutions are useful, although it's structure, is that sometimes structure is helpful, and it's helpful because it can help overcome some of the problems that we've had in the past. So, you know, kind of classic kind of distinction Paracon makes, like for say like the Soviet Union, is that in the Soviet Union you had this kind of what we would call coordinatorism, which is that a group of people that dominated empowering kind of labour were the people that made all the decisions. So you know, in a way that's like, I think Bakunin said in the First International to Marx, that you know, this kind of trajectory of you know, a party or, you know, the party would lead to you getting rid of capitalists, but just replacing them with a, you know, another kind of ruling kind of party, and that's what coordinatorism is. So I think that the structure here is balanced job complexes. So that's the thing in Paracon. So it's a structure, it's an institution that actually guards against that problem. So we've seen that problem happen. And we have to learn from social history. So, I mean, I'm sure like I could have done more to talk about, sorry, I'll just quickly, because, so I could have, for sure could have done more to talk about, you know, other theoretical and intellectual, you know, things that preceded some of these ideas. And if you read Paracon or ParPolity, you'll find some listed. So you know, it's not. I don't think it's disrespectful or cheeky necessarily. It's probably more about time. But yeah, the point
about
just
with people who are doing things now, not about history.
Mm-hmm.
Connecting and coordinating with other people who are doing things now,
yeah.
As opposed to thinking about what happened.
Okay, so people are doing nested councils now.
Not nested
Okay,
council,
right.
consensus
Okay, so there's one
decision-making,
institution,
let's
one
see,
structure
whatever.
that I cheekily, you know, put forward. Okay, so that's all I mean is that the institutions we're putting forward aren't to be cheeky or to say, hey, you know, they're because we think they might be useful and you know open for discussion. Sorry, we've got to go to the gap.
So it sounds like the seeds are something solid. I've done organisation, be it bureaucrat stuff and you know, peace movement type things. The experience of organisation is a pain in the bum, but once you've had a bit, you actually do sort of think, okay, so how are we going to? This does sound like, right, a lot of people might take it more if it wasn't pushing a label, if it was just asking the question, if not this, what? Because we're always asked that. Eventually somebody comes along and says, okay, so how would you sort the world out then? How are you going to? And this sounds like it has the seeds of opening that discussion up. It might actually include that if you vote, you get a little box where you can say, refer the structure back. I actually think that might fit within it, and that encourages me. But it does sound like it's got something. There's a few other minor comments, but I'm probably trying to join the debate, like I have a lot of other people shouting.
Yeah.
But this is the sort of thing people are asking us quite a lot.
Yeah. What do you stand for? If you're against this, what do you stand for? People want to know. And so, yeah, I think we've run out of time. But great, and I'd encourage you to have a look on Z because there's a debate that's looking at trying to build vision participatory, and I'd urge you all to get involved. Thank you very much.